Now, whilst all those expressions that we've just factorised had 3 terms, you could see that the a value out the front made it just that little bit harder and a little bit more involved with the working out. Now, sometimes you actually might get given a problem that looks like this and get asked to factorise it. Wait a second, what? That's like 6 terms. How are we going to be able to do that? Alright, well, let's check it out.
Now, the final lot of worked examples for factorising quadratic expressions aren't really what you call run-of-the-mill types of questions. And in fact, I'm going to show you a quick little hint that will make things easier. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to have to introduce you over to the right-hand side of the screen to Mr. Smiley. Now, that seems a little bit crazy now, but hopefully over the next couple of minutes it will make a bit more sense. Now, when we look at these worked examples, what you can see is it says factorise the following expressions, not too unlike anything else that we've dealt with. Right, but you've got x plus 3 in brackets squared minus 24. Now, if you have a look at this, it looks like we've got 3 terms. You've got your x, your 3, and your negative 24. Alright, but this isn't actually the case. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to use a thing called Mr. Smiley that I just introduced you to then. And we want to treat this as actually 2 terms. Now, we know when to do this because what you'll see is something's already been factorised, that is, it's already been put into brackets. If something's already been put into brackets, it means use Mr. Smiley face if it's asking you to further factorise. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to write whatever is in the brackets, we're going to call that smiley face. So we're going to say let smiley face equal x plus 3. So that means wherever I see x plus 3, I can now write smiley face. So I go in brackets smiley face squared minus 24. So x plus 3 squared minus 24, now that I've swapped it for smiley face, that is this part here for smiley face, I've got smiley face squared minus 24. It's exactly the same thing because I've substituted in smiley face for x plus 3. Alright, now what you can see is it looks a little bit more like 2 terms. And when factorising by 2 terms, what you can see is a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. And the step, of course, is to put both of the a and the b in brackets. Well, I've already got my a value in brackets. What I now need to do is put my b value in brackets. So that's going to be smiley face squared minus, well, what squared will give us 24? Well, that's going to be the square root of 24 squared. Because, of course, when you square the square root, the square and the square root will cancel each other out. Alright, I now have my a and my b, so I can now substitute into the formula. So let's just write that out. We've got bracket smiley face squared minus bracket root 24 squared is equal to, instead of writing my a, I'm going to write smiley face, plus, instead of writing my b, I'm going to write root 24, and in the next one, instead of writing my a, I'm going to write smiley face, minus, instead of writing my b, I'm going to write root 24. Okay, so now I've got Mr. Smiley face there, but smiley faces, no one smiles in maths, what are we talking about? So we now need to get rid of the smiley face and swap it in for x plus 3, because I know smiley face is equal to x plus 3. So what we're going to have here now is we get this here is equal to bracket, and we'll put in another bracket for x plus 3 because we're substituting back in, plus root 24, and instead of writing smiley face here, I write bracket x plus 3 minus root 24. Let's expand the brackets now, equals bracket x plus 3 plus root 24 and x plus 3 minus root 24. So I've just come down the page now because I can actually simplify this a little bit further. Now just give you a quick little overview on simplifying surds. So if I have root 24, whenever I deal with surds, what I need to do is I need to look for factors of 24 that can actually be square rooted. So if we have a think about it, what number is going to 24 that can actually be square rooted? Well, 4 goes into 24, so we're going to have square root of 4 times 6. And of course, we can actually square root 4, but we can't square root 6. So square root of 4 times the square root of 6. So these things are equal. And therefore we know what the square root of 4 is, so that's 2, and it leaves us with root 6, just like that. So that means I can now write x plus 3 plus 2 root 6 and x plus 3 minus 2 root 6, because root 24 is equal to 2 root 6. So let me just get rid of my little side note of working out here. And in fact, when we factorise x plus 3 squared minus 24, we actually get x plus 3 plus 2 root 6 and x plus 3 minus 2 root 6 in separate brackets. The key point here is always to substitute in smiley face whenever you see brackets in something that says factorize. Okay, so let's use the same process of working out for this one here. It says factorize x minus 6 in bracket squared plus 5x minus 6 plus 6. Okay, so let's have a think about it. It says factorize and there's already something in brackets. So that means we essentially just have to swap in whatever's in brackets for smiley face. So let's say let smiley face equal x minus 6. So that means wherever you see an x minus 6, you're going to write smiley face. So we end up getting this here is equal to smiley face squared plus 5 smiley face plus 6. Alright, if you have a look at it now, that looks like 3 terms, whereas before it looked like a ridiculous amount of terms that we haven't actually covered before. So you got smiley face squared plus 5 smiley face plus 6. Now when we're dealing with 3 terms, we come up here. Have we got a number out the front of the x squared, or the smiley face squared in this case? Well, no, we don't. It's just smiley face squared, so we're going to use the first method here. Alright, so the first one says write down the factors of c. Well, the factors of c, being 6, are 1 and 6, and 2 and 3. Now what do these factors add to 5? Well, you've got 2 and 3 add to 5. So we're going to have, in brackets, smiley face plus 2, bracket, smiley face plus 3. Because 2 and 3 go into these spots here. Alright, now I've got to the point where I've factorized, but of course I've made smiley face equal x minus 6, so we need to swap back x minus 6 for smiley face, because once again, you're not allowed to have a smiley face in maths. So you get equals, instead of writing smiley face, I write in brackets x minus 6 plus 2, and instead of writing smiley face here again, I write x minus 6 plus 3. Expand that now, so you get in brackets x minus 6 plus 2 and x minus 6 plus 3. Simplify now, what we get is x minus 6 plus 2 becomes x minus 4, and x minus 6 plus 3 becomes x minus 3. And there you go, we've actually factorized this large quadratic expression here and simplified it to get x minus 4 times x minus 3. And it's as simple as that. Just remember, once again, if it says factorize and it's already got brackets, substitute whatever's in brackets for a smiley face, and then you can go through and simplify from there. And now it's time to press pause once again and attempt these couple of questions. Of course, like always, make sure you press play once you're done and check your solutions against mine. Alright, so here's my solutions. It says factorize the following expressions. You've got x plus 7 squared plus 9x plus 7 plus 20. Now, because it says factorize and we've already got brackets in the expression, what it's hinting at to do is change whatever's in the brackets for smiley face. So we're going to say let x plus 7 equal smiley face. Okay, so instead of writing x plus 7, you're going to write smiley face now. So you got x plus 7, well, that's smiley face squared plus 9 smiley face plus 20. Now you can see we've got 3 terms and it's a lot easier to factorize. So if we have a look at this, have we got a number out the front of the smiley face? No, we haven't, so we're going to use this method up here, that is the x squared plus bx plus c, without the a value. Alright, so to do that we need to write down the factors of c, being 20. Alright, well, what are the factors of 20 that add to 9? Let's have a think about it. We know that 5 and 4 go into 9. Does 5 plus 4 equal 9? Well, yes, it does. So you're going to get smiley face plus 5 from here, and smiley face plus 4 from here. Alright, once again, we can't leave our answer with smiley face. We've got to change it back for x plus 7. So wherever you see a smiley face now, we're going to put x plus 7. So you get x plus 7 instead of smiley face plus 5 in brackets, and x plus 7 in brackets, so smiley face plus 4. Expand the brackets now, you get x plus 7 plus 5 and x plus 7 plus 4. 7 and 5 combine together to get 12, so you get x plus 12, and 7 and 4 combine together to get 11, so you get x plus 11. And there you have it. The factorized form of this becomes x plus 12 times x plus 11. In this question here, you've got x minus 2 bracket x plus 1 squared. Alright, first step whenever we do any factorizing is we should always look to take out any common factors. So if we have a look here, we've got 8 and 2. Now we can see that 2 actually goes into both of these things, so we can take 2 out as a common factor, leaving us with 4 and negative 1. Now of course we don't need to write the negative 1. Next thing to do is to have a look at this and see that, well, actually it's asking us to factorize, but it's already got brackets. So that means what we need to do is write whatever is in the brackets and call it smiley face. So we're going to write let x plus 1 equal smiley face. Alright, so wherever I see the x plus 1 now, I've written smiley face. So you get 2 bracket 4 minus smiley face squared. Now, like I've said before, if you've got a number at the front of the brackets already, you can pretty much ignore that now, so we're just going to treat it as two terms. So if you have a look at the formula, you get a squared minus b squared in brackets is equal to a plus b times a minus b. So I've actually written that formula out here down the bottom. Alright, let's substitute in our a and our b values now. So our a value is going to be 2 and our b value is going to be smiley face. So doing that now up here, you get 2 and in brackets a plus b, so 2 plus smiley face, and in brackets over here a minus b being 2 minus smiley face. Alright, we've taken it as far as we can now, so let's substitute back x plus 1 for smiley face. Once again, we can't have smiley face as the final answer. So instead of writing smiley face, you're going to get x plus 1. So you get 2 plus x plus 1 in brackets and 2 minus x plus 1. This is where it might get a little bit difficult for some people because you're expanding, and this is why you need to make sure you write things in brackets. Because the expanding this negative is going to go to both of them, so you're going to get 2 minus x and 2 minus 1. Alright, make sure the negative goes to both. The plus won't have any effect because you're just going to get 2 plus x and 2 plus 1 because the positive x and positive 1 don't change. Alright, simplifying that now, 2 plus 1 is 3, so you get x plus 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1, and you get your negative x here. And as you can see, you also need to make sure you remember to write the 2 out the front because we took that out as a common factor in the beginning. So as you can see, 8 minus 2 bracket x plus 1 squared is equal to 2 bracket x plus 3 times 1 minus x in brackets. And then you have it, that's been factorised.
Okay, so if I get asked to factorise something that has brackets in it already, all I need to do is I just substitute in smiley face for whatever in the brackets, go through and simplify, and then substitute smiley face back out when I'm done. Is this correct, Jerry?
Teach me how to factor. Teach me how to factor. Teach me how to factor.
Sweet. Alright guys, well thank you very much for tuning into today's lesson, which is all about how to factorise expressions with 3 terms. Also we covered how to factorise expressions that already have brackets in them. Now like always, make sure you stay tuned for the very next lesson, which will cover how to factorise expressions by completing the square. And this is the very last method that you'll have to learn in order to be able to factorise any given quadratic expression that gets thrown your way. So of course, say hi to your math teacher for me, Morsey out.
Teach me how to factor. Teach me.